Welcome to this week's episode of the Advantage Kitchen, where we're going to make carnitas. So the first thing we need to work on is our meat. For this, you'll need a 4 to 5 pound pork shoulder, 2 oranges, 1 lime, an onion, a jalapeno, and 4 cloves of garlic. Then for our dry rub, you'll need salt, oregano, coriander, cumin, paprika, and cayenne. So the other stuff you'll need will depend on if you're gonna do a bowl or tacos. I'm gonna make a bowl tonight, so I'm gonna roast off a bunch of bell peppers and onions. Half of one of the red onions I am going to quick pickle, so go check out the Thai larb recipe if you're interested in that. We've got mangoes, avocados, mild pico de gallo here. I'm doing pico de gallo instead of a salsa. Green onions, which are going to be charred. Then I'm going to top with some cilantro and a little bit of lime as well. So for our dry rub, you're going to need 2 teaspoons of salt, then 3 teaspoons of dried oregano, 1.5 teaspoons of coriander, 1.5 teaspoons of cumin, 1.5 teaspoons as well of paprika, a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. If you want there to be no heat in this, feel free to omit. About a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Give those a mix. Then you'll want to add the zest of both oranges and your lime. Mix these to combine as well, going in with your hands to break up any large clumps of zest that might remain. Now that our rub is ready, you're going to want to go ahead and cube your pork shoulder into 2-inch pieces, as well as trim any extra fat. Once you've done that, go ahead and sprinkle on our dry rub, making sure to toss to evenly coat as you spread this around. I'm just mixing this in a big metal bowl. You could also do this in the bowl of your Instant Pot or your Crock Pot, whatever you're going to use. Then you'll want to let this marinate about 2 hours at room temperature, or ideally overnight in the fridge. I marinated mine overnight and the product was great, but if you don't have time for that, no worries. So now that our meat is done marinating, we're gonna uncover it from the plastic wrap, and you're gonna take that onion and slice it in half, as well as the jalapeno. You'll wanna have a pan preheating on medium-high heat. With it totally dry, go ahead and add in your onion and your jalapeno. You'll hear them start to sizzle, and you'll wanna leave them undisturbed, except to turn occasionally to ensure even browning, about 6 to 8 minutes until they're charred. Next, if you've been marinating your meat in a mixing bowl like I am, you're going to want to add it in to the bowl of whatever you're going to cook with. I'm using an Instant Pot here, so I'm going to go ahead and add it. From there, break up any large chunks of meat that might be sticking together. Next, you'll want to juice both of your oranges and your lime straight into the bowl that you're using. You'll also want to go ahead and add your garlic. I forgot to do this until I was off camera, so make sure and don't be like me and add it in right now. Once your onions are charred and your jalapeno is charred evenly around all sides, go ahead and add those to the Instant Pot. Once your veggies have been added, if you're using an Instant Pot, cook on high pressure for 35 minutes, or if you're using a Crock Pot, cook on low for 7 to 8 hours. Once your timer has gone off for whichever method, go ahead and uncover your meat, removing the onions and jalapeno. These are delicious. Don't throw these away. Feel free to serve them with the meat. The next thing you want to do is let the meat cool for about 10 to 15 minutes just to make it manageable, and then go ahead and start tearing it with 2 forks or tongs. Potato masher here works great as well, and you're just going to tear everything until it's really difficult to tell the sauce drippings from the shredded meat. All right, so this is now day 2 of carnitas because a storm rolled through and the lighting got really, really rough. So we have good lighting now. As you can see, my meat has been in the fridge for probably about 24 hours now, and it's got all those juices have really seeped in. I'm just gonna go ahead to reheat this, putting it on a foil-lined baking sheet in a really nice, thin, even layer. We're gonna put this under a broiler for 5 to 8 minutes until the edges are super brown and the top is a dark caramel color. All right, now it's time to plate up. So here I've got a bed of spinach, roasted red peppers, roasted red onions and charred green onions, some sliced mango and avocado, fresh pico de gallo, all of my beautiful browned meat, pickled red onions, cilantro, and lime. This is just one example. Feel free to make this however you want.